Who is William Wallace? What does he mean to Scotland's history? Very little is actually known about where he was born and which specific location, but there is no set sources. So from here we investigate the life of William Wallace.
Wallace is arguably one of the greatest heroes of the Scottish people. He rises to prominence in the late 1290s, at the time of the war between Scotland and England, when Edward I was trying to annex the kingdom of the Scots to his own realm. Wallace had a different interpretation of how Scotland's future should go. He led an army against Edward I here at Stirling, the famous Battle of Stirling Bridge on the 11th of September 1297. And you can see behind me the Abbey Craig and the Wallace Monument. Wallace came down from the Abbey Craig to attack the English when they were trying to cross Stirling Bridge. It was a great victory for the Scots, and on the back of that, Wallace has become an iconic figure for the Scottish people.
There are a lot of folk tales, myths of who William Wallace was. From the foundation of Scottish history, questions arise, such as how great a leader he truly was, and what triggered a nobleman into action. But one day he created a rebellion, which portrayed an insight of freedom that each man, woman and child believed was their birthright. What was the catalyst behind Wallace's actions, and how did this all begin?
An awful lot of what we know about Wallace is largely based on myth. I think that the actual facts relating to the man's life could be written on one sheet of paper. But whether or not it was inspired by what was said to be a murder of his wife Marion, or whether he was more motivated politically, we don't know. But what we certainly do know is that he was a leading figure in the Scots resistance in the late 1290s, the early 1300s, and he's become quite a figure for the Scots.
There are many different variations and beliefs to Wallace's capture and demise. Was he killed by the English or betrayed by the Scots?
He was betrayed by Scots to the English. It was, as you rightly say, a cross in Glasgow. That was in August 1305, and he was taken from Glasgow down to London, and there he was subjected to a mock trial at Westminster, and then he was executed at a place now where Smithfield is, at the Smithfield Market. There's, I believe, a monument or a small plaque to William Wallace down at Smithfield. But he was hung, drawn and quartered. His head was placed on London Bridge, and the 4 quarters of his body were sent. Some say one part was at Newcastle, one was certainly here in Stirling, one was at Perth, and the other was either at Dundee or Aberdeen. There's some dubiety relating to that. So it was a sad demise. However, if Edward hoped that that would obliterate the memory of Wallace and the inspiration he gave to the Scots, he was incorrect.